The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama.
You're listening to Meridian's 3-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Debbie, and welcome back for another show this morning.
Good morning. We're halfway through the week.
Hump
Wednesday.
Day.
Do you feel like the older you get, the quicker the days? It's like Monday, then it's Friday, then it's Monday again, and then it's Friday. The weekend is just like...
And get a vacation and see how fast a week can go by.
Well, vacations now wear me out more than, like I really honestly need a vacation.
I have
after
never
a
been one of
vacation.
those that likes a vacation where you go and you come back the night before you go back to work.
I've got to have a little
too-
time. Yeah, a little time in there. Even working remotely, where I can just basically do wherever, it's still tough.
It is.
I just have to have that little time to kind of wind down and
Get over it.
yes.
Well, we sure are getting a lot of comments this morning. And if you're watching from home on television, you can also interact with us on Facebook or on YouTube. And the comments we're getting is fog and more fog. Let's pull up Meridian Honda radar here where we can take a look at that. Look what we have here. South and Quitman there, right around Quitman, is really heavy. Now, this is a dense fog advisory issued here. The further north you go, look at all of that. It's everywhere this morning. So be mindful of school buses and things of that nature today.
Well, driving here, the fog was intense. It was very, very thick. And
We have to...
yeah, I was doing that, and then I know, I just am not that great at driving at night, like I said yesterday. And then you add the fog in, and that was a tough drive. And then I had a car behind me, or actually it looked like a 18-wheeler, but it was probably just a car. But it was right on me, and I'm sorry, I just can't go faster
Then it is.
And I want to make sure a deer's not coming out because you know that they're running wild right now.
Oh, they are.
And
while we're all talking about weather, let's talk about what's going to happen tonight. Severe weather. Let me go here and turn this on where everybody can take a look at the storm probabilities that we have tonight. Now, the time frame that we're looking at is 9 p.m. That's about bedtime till 4 a.m. when you get up, a lot of you. What we've got here, let's pull up radar. Meridian Honda radar shows us. This is good news, Debbie. We're under a level 1 here in the Meridian area. And most of everywhere, you have to go back to Jackson, west of there, to Daytona, up through the Mississippi Delta to find a level 2. So we're good. We could have some small hail. We could have some strong thunderstorms. They'll be isolated. You cannot rule out that a tornado could happen, but it's more likely to happen over here than it is in our area. Now, again, don't get too confident, but overall, we're going to get some rain. It's what we're going to get, a little wind with it.
And you'll give an update before
Absolutely.
we all go to bed to know that it basically will probably stay at a level 1.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
This
But
one has
the
moved.
big news is the wind gusts.
Ooh.
Isn't it going to be about 30 miles an hour?
It is.
That's pretty
It starts
strong.
out this morning of like 10 to 15, and then it jumps to 20, and then those gusts to 30.
Yeah. But
So-
it's going to be warm. What's the temperature today? Well,
75, Debbie.
what
This is
what is it right
January.
now? What is it right now? Because I had to turn my air on last night.
Let me see.
It got really warm in my house. I think it got to like 70. I don't understand why, if it's really cold outside and I have 73, if I turn it up to 73 when it's really cold, it feels great. But if it's warm outside and it's 73 in my house, I feel like I'm dying.
63 right now is what we've got on the thermometer.
It's nice out there, other than the fog.
Yeah,
Fog
if
is
we
thick.
get rid of the fog, we'd be perfect.
Yeah.
But that's where we're sitting right now. And speaking of everything that went on yesterday, let's go ahead and start about the wrecks that happened yesterday. This was horrendous.
That started off as a few cars on the interstate and ultimately ended up with 31 vehicles that were in some way damaged.
Yeah.
In some way in a wreck.
Either totaled or they got a dent. 31. We've never had
I
that.
saw
in Meridian.
18-wheelers that looked totaled.
Here we go. Look at this.
Some of them looked completely totaled out.
As we go through this and look at these pictures, this was the scene on I-20 yesterday. Now, they started off right here on the west side there, on the west I-20 side of a 7-car pileup. And then a truck come through. We assume it's a truck that had a oil leak, and it sprayed it all down the highway. And then more wrecks began to happen because it hit that oil and was slick. And it just turned into one disaster after another. Look at that.
I mean, you see these pileups like this in other states
Yeah.
when there's snow involved. I don't know that I've ever seen anything where it was oil on a road, but they had it blocked off. When I got up there
Look at that.
on frontage, it was blocked off over the bridge on 22nd Avenue Bridge over the interstate, right?
Right.
And they had it blocked from both sides. Not only was it on the westbound lane, I guess where it originated, The wrecks?
Yeah.
Then there were wrecks on the eastbound lane.
That's true.
Which I didn't really understand that part of it. There were 2 wrecks.
Yes. It was everywhere.
Right on the
so at
eastbound.
one point, the entire I-20 was shut down through Meridian. You couldn't travel through it whatsoever. Clark County took overdose of people being diverted off of 45 through there.
Okay, so this, can you pull that one up and
Yeah, let
let
me
everybody
pull-
see this?
Right there.
That one right there. How did somebody not get injured?
It's a miracle.
And what did it hit?
An 18. He hit another 18-wheeler. But if you look at that windshield, you know he had to be, his head
Something
had to
had
slam.
to happen.
It's a miracle. And what we got out of this was minor injuries to everybody. Minor.
I
Nothing
wonder
that
if
was considered.
anybody got actual video of it when it was happening.
Well, we've got a video. Look at that. Let me see here.
That's
I've got
crazy.
a video, Debbie. Let's see here. Not that one.
No.
No, let me go back here. I think I can pull one up of when it, because there's still smoke coming from it. No, I don't.
Now, I saw that video, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about, sometimes
dash
people,
cam.
a dash cam or something like that where people actually.
Now, here's somebody that's passing it on the other side. Let's
Right.
watch this. Pull this up where you can see this.
That's scary to be standing outside.
Look at that.
It's crazy. I would be terrified.
And it just
Look
keeps
at that.
going.
And how people weren't hurt. These cars are very damaged.
Yes.
But total of 31 vehicles.
Yeah.
Does that include the ones on the eastbound lane?
Yes, that's everybody that was involved.
And I
in
don't
it.
know if they were just on the eastbound lane, if they were just looking and it happened, but it was right around that ramp,
Yeah.
ramping onto the 22nd Avenue, ramping onto the interstate at 22nd.
And if you were downtown Meridian, these were happening everywhere. Just look at this picture here. This was if you're standing at the old Mr. Discount Drugs, looking back toward downtown Meridian, a little fender bender there, to where these 2 cars bumped, and they're just literally there wasn't enough police to handle. That was
They were everywhere.
Gosh, they were
And the
spread
wrecker
thin
service
because of it.
yesterday,
Whew.
you guys made bank.
Yeah, yesterday was
They
like
were
payday for that.
I should have gone and started pulling some vehicles out. I just can't believe that it was 31 vehicles. That's
I've
just
never
insane.
heard of
It's
that
crazy.
before.
Yeah.
But that was the scene in downtown Meridian yesterday. I hope you weren't involved in it. If you did, that you got around all of that.
Yeah.
It
Let
was-
us know.
Boy. Let's talk about the next thing that happened on this. I got word of this yesterday morning, and we ran out to go get pictures of it to make sure that what I was told was true. Everybody know where the Temple Theater is. You're standing on the corner. You look across. You see the parking garage.
The new one.
Yeah, the brand new
What
one.
we call the new one.
Behind it, you can see City Hall. In between there is the AT&T building. And in a little alleyway there is where they park their cars in between the parking garage and their building. In this little chain-linked area. Well, this is what they came into Monday morning to see. Cars damaged. Let me make this picture bigger here. Look at that. Now, do you see that on the windshield? That is ceramic tile is what that is.
So
Little
they threw
squares.
it
Yeah.
from the parking garage.
That's what I gather how they did that.
So don't we have cameras there?
We're supposed to. Now, I haven't spoken to Craig Hitt yet, but I would think they would have
Yeah.
pictures of whoever did this.
I hope they do.
Look at that.
That's senseless.
Brand new cars ruined.
Did it get every one of them, or
4 out of 5 were damaged.
well?
And you'll see this is the parking
That's the
garage
old
here,
parking garage.
and this is the AT&T, and then back there in the back is the old parking garage the other way. City Hall is right to the right there. But as you say, you can't have nothing. Now, I also got word from people that were inside the garage, and I didn't walk in it, and maybe I should have, that county vehicles had cut tires. As we'll look at this. Here's
Oh, at the same time.
Yeah, that this was done either before or after. So it was just vandalism.
So I've always heard there's cameras in there.
Yeah.
So somebody
Should.
should have something that can capture who did this.
Yeah,
It had to be all the same person.
And the best I can tell you is this happened over the weekend. That's kind of what we know at this point.
I hate that.
I do too. This is just,
Yeah.
Bothers you to no end. We got more coming up. We'll tell you about what's going on in our community. As always, if you've got an event, something that's happening to help the community, let us know. You can inbox us. Scotty Ray 1969 AOL.com is another way to get it to us.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Joyce Snowden Godwin tells us good morning all the way from Tennessee.
I think Joyce, is that your relative? No.
Yes.
Yeah, she lives in Murfreesboro, where I was born and raised.
Sure does.
I think she still lives in Murfreesboro. I just happened to notice that on Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good morning. Let's see, Mary Etheridge and Denise and, hey, LaWanda Grantham.
Didn't she? She used to make us the
I still have them. I still have my Christmas angels that I put on my tree every year.
Such
they're
sweet
little
thing.
crystals. So good morning, Vicki Stewart, Paul Robertson. And somebody commented earlier about the fog, and I do want to say that again. If you're out and about driving, somebody said you could, what is it, butter your biscuit with it or something. I don't know what to say, but it was some kind of saying like that, and it is. It's that thick. Good morning, Winnie. I like that name so much. Good morning from Michigan. Hey.
James Gully watching us from the big city there.
I bet it's cold. The big city of what? Scotty Ray, Michigan.
Well, yeah, I was thinking.
He didn't put a city.
Well, I was thinking, I don't know.
You were thinking Chicago?
That's what then I corrected myself. That's Illinois.
That's in Michigan.
Yeah, it's a different state.
Yes, Chicago. Let's don't talk anymore. Anyway, somebody said that's a horrible on-ramp over there at 22nd. I think so, too. I think the on-ramp at 22nd Avenue is a tough one.
Yeah, and we had Ricky text us and said, when was that, back in the 90s? He saw something?
Yeah, said that there was back then they used to have these grease trucks that would go pick up your grease, and they may still have them.
From the restaurants.
That cleans up the grease from the restaurants when they change out their grease. And it dripped all down the interstate. And so therefore they had wrecks everywhere.
I can see that happening.
That would be awful.
Let's see. That was the end of the major wrecks that we had yesterday afternoon. That took over 4 hours from the start of that first wreck to that last one cleaned up. 4 hours, I-20 shut down. Those guys earned their money. A big thank you to everybody who did that now.
Yeah, Lima was there. And did you see the amount of dirt they put out?
Yes.
Yeah, they had
MDOT was all over it.
Yeah, they were on standby on the side because I kind of drove by it to see what was going on, just on frontage. Because you could still get up and down frontage road at certain points. And it was bad. It was
Howard
bad.
Dubose joining us there from Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you for watching from
Howard.
there.
I remember Howard.
Another thing that went on last night was, what is that I hear outside? Ting, ting. Oh, that's the sound of gunfire. Let's go take a look, Debbie.
Does it really sound like ting, ting?
Well, you know how it hits metal?
Oh, I was going to say, I hear them off in the distance sometimes, and it sounds like, that's what it sounds like.
And then she'll call me and go, hey, what you know?
I'm going to say, yeah, I do. But it's actually like 2 miles away.
Yeah.
And I can hear it. I don't know if it's just a
Plain as
good
day.
I can hear it plain as day, but it's always 2 miles away.
2300 block of 34th Avenue last night. A house and a car was shot up. And folks, let me tell you, plumb miracle that no one was hit. A miracle no one was hit with gunfire on that. Yeah. Somehow or another, God was watching over somebody.
Shot up a car and a house. right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And that tends to happen. We didn't have any more violence like that after that. A lot of times that's a cue to what's coming that night. And thankfully there was nothing else that night. Let's hope it doesn't continue tonight.
Yeah, and that was over in that.
It would be
back, I guess, not quite to Highland Park, but
it's northeast of there. There's let's pull that map up there. Here's Highland Park. Here's northeast of there.
So it's northeast of there.
Here's Highland Baptist. Here's south of there, right there. And this would be.
And so nobody was in the car.
It was empty.
That's good.
Thank heavens. It's because we have had cases where that's not how it ends up being.
Real quick, one time we were driving to the beach. It was Mike and my girls. We were coming back, but we went through that 8 Mile area. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is a long time ago.
I've heard of it.
The 8 Mile area just before you get into Mobile.
Okay.
And there had been a gun battle.
Shootout.
And there were police everywhere, and they had it blocked off, and I guess they had already arrested everybody. But there was a car that it looked like it should have been in a movie.
Like Bonnie and Clyde?
Yes, it was completely shot up. And I guess, we came through it right before they towed it. But that's the first time I'd ever seen one that shot up.
Well, if y'all remember, a few months back, we had that at 14th Street, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody sitting at a red light, and then windows start being rolled down, and ambulance behind them, shooting at one another. One only got hit in the leg. This is Meridian, Mississippi.
I don't understand.
Lord Hammer, you talked about the dirt. Here's the scene of what they were doing with the dirt yesterday on I-20. That's what took that slickness off of that when that truck come through that was leaking oil.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I see that the Powerball's up to $20 million on that side.
Ooh.
We only do it when it gets to $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's the only time I'll buy it.
With that small change.
Yeah, who wants that kind of money?
But, and stuff like this, I always remind, I just, out of safety, don't pass 18-wheelers when it's flooding. Anything can happen. You lose control of your car, you go up under it.
Yeah, I have a true respect for an 18-wheeler, but I know you have a true respect no matter what's going on during the day. Because we used to have to make those trips to Nashville.
Yeah.
If you were driving by, you were terrified. I thought we were going to wreck just out of the fact that you were terrified.
They scare me.
Yeah. I don't like them, and I try to get past them and go on.
I always had that fear of being in the blind spot of the mirror and they can't see me and then just coming over on me.
Well, you always have to assume that you are.
Yeah. So
you drive.
Grip it with a death grip and floorboard it.
The worst is when they're doing a double wide situation with one of those little cars that say wide load or whatever, and then you get up to it and you have to go around it. That is the most intense driving moments of your life. Trying to get around them. Yeah.
So check all that. What happens when you do something, and this is the state of Mississippi, as we're going to Columbus, Mississippi. Okay, let's say you're sitting around and you think, well, I don't want to go to school today. Let me just call in a threat.
Yeah.
But you forget that your cousins and your uncles are selling marijuana out of the house from the number that you made the call from. Well, they track you down first and charge you for all of the above, making threats to a school, and then they find all the marijuana and charge your uncles and your cousins for selling marijuana, and now they're mad at you and in jail.
Right.
It didn't turn out a good day for this family there in Columbus, Mississippi.
So to think, how old was the kid that called
15. 15
he should have
years
known
old.
better.
Yeah, he was old enough to know better. It wasn't like he was a little kid.
And he had a house phone?
Yeah, they had a house phone.
That's so unusual.
And they tracked it right to it.
Do you still have a house phone?
No.
I have a number. I don't have an actual phone plugged into it.
It is few people these days that still have the. There's a few out there, but not many. That's why That's why you don't see them anymore. The phone book is gone, y'all. There ain't nobody.
The phone book is like. But now you can just Google.
Yeah,
you can Google everybody's stuff. But that picture you just put up, Scotty Ray. Notice what they have their marijuana in.
Let's see. What is that? This is from our friends over at Dark Horse Press. Let me take a look here.
Look.
What is that?
M&M jar. You know,
it sure is.
Like the Sam size M&M.
Never throw away a container. You never know when you're going to have to use it for something else.
Right. It looks like they used all kinds of different
maybe
containers.
some spices. Yeah.
So they needed to cover up, at least put some M&Ms, fake M&Ms on the outside of it.
Oh,
that's a load of marijuana.
Inside. That was a lot.
Yeah.
But family members are not going to be happy with this guy for doing that to them. Let's see here. Debbie Rutledge said there was a movie called 8 Mile. Wasn't that? What's his name?
Yeah, I always wondered. It was with Eminem. He did the movie 8 Mile. And I always wondered if it was about 8 Mile, right outside of Alabama. And I think it was, but I might be wrong on that. But it was just a really, it's had its moments over there with crime, 8 Mile.
Teresa Gibson says she still has a home phone.
I do too. I don't have the actual phone, like I said, but I still have that number because I always think you never know. You never know if you might need it. And it's so cheap to have them now with your services and stuff. It's easy.
I-55, if you ever driven through there in Jackson, Mississippi, that is a very dangerous highway. You're going to Jackson, and that's where the stack is, and you have to decide if you're going on to Vicksburg or if you're going to North Jackson. Once you get on to 55, the traffic is almost like, it's not as bad as Houston, but it's close. It's a cousin. They had a wreck there. 2 people died in an accident. Someone has been charged with DUI for causing the wreck.
Yeah.
How sad that is.
That is and coupled with the fact that the roads are like,
yeah, because they cave in.
They cave in because of the clay, I guess, or is that what it is?
Yeah,
the clay makes them. But you come into Jackson really kind of airborne.
Yes, you do.
And then you hit that little area, and you're going, oh, I got to turn. Yeah.
And then you get mix somebody drinking in with that, and what do? You get a death.
And then you get up on 55, and you have to do the frontage road might go to the left. The front, you might ramp off to the left. You might ramp off to the right.
Where is it that you come up and you have to make that decision to go to the hospitals off of 55? You know where I'm talking about? With the Methodist Church?
Yeah.
That's a dangerous little place.
Yeah. But once you get past there, it's all smooth sailing. It really is.
All I can tell you, folks, is if you ever want to go through Houston, Texas, wake up at 2 a.m. That's the best time. Do your timing. Map it out. Don't go through there during daylight if you're like me.
Is it worse than Dallas?
Yes.
Is it worse than Atlanta?
Houston is, yes.
It can't be worse.
Yeah. It's bad.
I one time had to drive, several times I had to drive somebody to the LAX airport. And if you can do that, I felt like I can do anything. Like going into the LAX airport, if anybody's ever driven to it, it's like 800 lanes of traffic going in there. It's the busiest airport.
That is.
And that was intimidating. I thought, okay, I accomplished that and didn't die, and I can do anything now.
Back in 95, I flew out there and rode in a car. I didn't drive. I was a passenger in the car, and
I know. But just going in, it's just like you got to know what you're doing because it's so many lanes.
It's absolutely.
And to get over, and it's all thick traffic.
Yeah, it's not like you zoom. It's...
No.
We see that in Vicksburg. They've had a lot of crime in Vicksburg lately, and they really try over there to make efforts to stop it. Now they're saying at the mall, if you are a minor and you don't have your parent with you, you ain't coming. They had a disturbance at the mall over the weekend, and they've laid down the law.
Oh, wow.
You're just not coming here. They're saying that they are not your babysitter, and you cannot drop your child off and leave them. You got to be accompanied by an adult.
I love Vicksburg. My best friend Sabrina lives in Vicksburg, and I love going over there and going to their little downtown area. It's cute. It's really cute.
It is.
And they've got some great rooftop restaurant bars and
go
things
there
like
where
that.
the first Coca-Cola was bottled.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that where it was? I didn't know that.
Vardaman's candy store, if I remember right.
I might have gone there.
Yeah, it's real neat.
I don't know. I go over there to do that over the river run.
Yeah.
Where you get to go over the old bridge.
Yeah.
And then turn back around and come back.
You think the bridge
I don't
is falling?
run, obviously, but I can fast walk. I can fast walk faster than most people can run. And that's how I do it. I do the fast walk part.
Yeah, I can't.
If they catch you running in the fast walk, you're disqualified.
Ooh. They have people on golf carts watch that.
Yeah. And the other people are watching you.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you go into a jog.
Get turned. Hey, did I tell you last night somebody got into a fight with the bubblegum machine at the police department? I am not kidding, y'all. Right up in the police department.
Have you ever gotten anything out of the bubblegum machine at the police department?
No, I've seen it. I've looked at it over there while waiting.
Why'd they get into a fight with it? Because it gave them 2 pieces of candy for 25 cents. Like it did me that.
So it didn't work right.
Yeah, that time I went in to go fight that ticket.
Yeah.
And I changed my mind at the last minute and left. But I got me some M&Ms. 25 cents. They gave me 2.
Yeah, that was a ripoff.
And I think I might have
Slapped it
Slapped
too.
it and go
You just
on.
didn't
No.
go as far as he did.
Yeah.
I think Metro came and checked him out.
Did it take his quarter? And he got mad.
I don't know all the details. I hadn't got camera footage from MPD. I don't think they're going to give
I
it
bet
to
they
me.
have
But
it.
yeah, though they've got it, but they're not going to share it with me. I don't think. But I'm waiting if y'all want to send it on over to me. But that
would
went
be
on
good.
last night in the wee hours of the morning. Always interesting what goes on overnight in Meridian. Always something that makes you go,
I can't even imagine wanting to fight the gumball machine inside the police department.
Yeah.
Maybe in a store.
but not the police department.
Yeah.
Just sounds like you're going to get in trouble. This is one of those worst of the worst crimes. Is we go to Flowood, Mississippi. A pastor, he was the youth pastor, has been arrested. They gave him 15 years. He will serve 7 out of the 15 in jail for child exploitation charges. And
There's too
that's-
many of these stories.
I know.
It's every day.
Children look up to somebody in this position. The church is really upset over it that even ever happened. Flowood, Mississippi. He's in the jailhouse now. 7 years to think about it. Hopefully he will not get out early.
So he played guilty.
Yeah, they had the goods on him. That's just a shame there. We did see that someone was killed in a crash in Madison County also. Crashes happen all over the state. That would be one of I always see the ads of become a state trooper. You have to really have a well-rounded, because you do so much.
The trauma that you...
Yes.
That's got to be so difficult to see such... And especially
That knock
when
on
it
the
comes
door.
to young children or, I don't... It's just got to be horrible to go through that.
Over on the west side, they're not sure at this point, but 2 hunters stumbled up on something and they got to looking at it and look down. They go, whoa. And they called the popo and they said, hey, we think there's human remains here. So they came out, the game warden showed up and they all got to looking, and it looks like maybe a foot inside a shoe.
Yeah. Well, it's a bone.
Bone of some sort.
And they said they can't really determine if it's human or not. I can't imagine what else would be inside of a...
Boot or whatever that was.
But they're going to find out. But it's been there so long. I wonder how long.
Yeah,
Like back in the frontier days.
they didn't say,
How
did
long?
they?
I don't know.
But that happening over to the west of the Meridian area. It's kind of like, not long ago we had skeletal remains found here off of B Street back in there.
Oh, yeah, that was not too long ago.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah, you were over there for me, if I remember right.
I was over there for a split second. Scotty Ray took a picture and got out. I didn't want to be the next victim laying in there in the boneyard.
And for everybody that's just tuning in, as Debbie has just come back this week, Debbie has worked with me behind the scenes on this since this began, from day one. I remember calling you going, hey, I got this idea.
I said, that's a stupid idea, Scotty Ray. No, I did not. I was all for it because I know how you're just very talented. This is your calling. And at first it was just basically you were going to do the weather.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, because if I hear that a million times since I left radio, is I sure do miss Scotty Ray on that weather. I miss Scotty Ray. Well, they'd say I miss you and Scotty Ray, but in all reality, all I did was go, yeah, Scotty Ray.
Yeah, but
I didn't really back you up other than if you got tired of talking, I would just do a little talking.
you have no idea
But you're
how
the one that
important is.
really has the weather down
Well,
pat.
thank you.
And then it moved from that to you.
Adding in a little bit of news stories, and then from that we started adding in crime, and then here we are on television as well now.
But yeah, I mean, I would say that I've been pretty involved the entire time because I dig up stories for you.
Oh, yeah. You write
And,
stories for me that make more sense than mine.
Well, I don't. No, I'm going to just tell you this. I do not write a story.
What are you trying to say?
I try to proofread those stories sometimes, but sometimes they make it past me.
Because I hit send, and then I realize, oops.
And I'll look at it and I send him. What I do is screenshot it and circle all the mistakes, and sometimes a lot of circles, and sometimes it's just one circle, and then
Like redo the whole thing.
then he gets irritated, and I'm like, sorry. It is.
Do
what it
not
is.
let me do a news story from my cell phone. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I just
I
can't
mean, it's
function
always
with those.
been known that your spelling's been kind of atrocious.
Is that the way you word it?
But I have to be honest, since cell phones and
Yeah.
computers and stuff, my spelling, I used to be a very good speller, but now if you ask me to spell something, it's really hard for me to spell a lot of words now because
You used to
you're
your
just so
phones.
you're just like directions.
Yeah.
So you had to know.
What did Lena just say about the Coca-Cola plant there in Vicksburg? That last
It was called Bidenhorn. Biderman. You just have to say it fast.
Yeah, say it real fast. Nobody will know what you're saying.
Candy company that bottled the first Coca-Cola. I have 2 original Coke bottles. Love Vicksburg. It's Binderhorn. She said Binderhorn.
Yeah, Bidenhorn. I'm not even going to try to say that anymore.
Bidenhorn.
Yeah, but that neat. There used to be a lot of those bottles around, and they used corks in the tops of them to seal the Coca-Colas in the original days.
How long ago?
18-something.
Oh.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, we'll be right back. Don't y'all rush off. We got some more stuff to tell you in moments here at the Scotty Ray and Debbie Show.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
J&J Tire Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, and they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie. And somebody said one thing about the cell phone is when you try to talk to it, that predictive text, sometimes it doesn't understand the English language, the Southern English language.
No, but have you ever seen the little video where it says my mom got trapped into predictive text? So she starts it, and it won't stop. She's doing the recording, and it keeps texting, and she just can't. The more she talks, the more it keeps texting. Yeah. And she's like, I can't stop this. But, I can't use predictive text. It never
works out for you.
No.
Nadine tells us that once she stumbled upon our program, she watches it for the weather and all. That's all she watches now. Thank you.
She said your weather coverage is great.
Appreciate it.
Take the compliment where you can, Scotty Ray. I remember I used to go to our old van when we were in radio.
Yeah.
Little did people know that we had in that big van.
Box.
The box. There was a bucket that we sat on inside of up front. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was scary.
Good morning, Nick Dowell. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. All right, let's turn back the pages of time. And this guy, the ladies loved this guy, didn't they? Wasn't he the ladies' man of that era?
So good looking.
Cary Grant was born in 1904. He was in many, many movies, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. So he would be 119. Isn't that insane?
It is.
Oh, I just thought he was the most gorgeous man ever.
Ladies did love him. 1941, another guy that was born. You don't hear much out of him anymore. No. But anybody remember this guy, Bobby Goldsboro? Yeah. He was born on this date. What did he do? What was some of his songs?
Do you remember that song, honey? I just looked up the lyrics.
And what were they?
The title of the song doesn't sound as familiar as the song. See the tree, how big it's grown, but friend, it hasn't been too long. It wasn't big.
It wouldn't be a hit today.
I laughed at her. She got mad the first day that.
Yeah,
anyway, he was big back. What, late 60s or something like that? No.
I think that's where my name came from. My first name, I think. I don't know.
From Scotty, the song?
I think so, maybe. They never did tell me that part. 1952, you'd remember him from, Larry, Curly, Moe, all that bunch?
Yeah. Well, and what did he say? That's what he said.
1952, Jerome Hartz, how do you pronounce that?
Horitz.
Passed away. Of course, he was curly.
So he was dead before I ever watched.
Yep. Can you believe that?
I guess those were such old shows.
Yeah, they were good, though. From Collinsville, Mississippi, this guy really made it big there. David Ruffin was born on this date back in 1941. You'll see a big portrait of him in downtown Meridian in the Temptations there. That
Mural.
Yeah.
The mural. Isn't there there's a David Ruffin street named after him?
Yes, sure is.
Yeah.
1941 is when that happened. Also, if you ever watched Field of Dreams, a bunch of other movies that he made.
What was the one with Whitney Houston?
Oh, The Bodyguard. Love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And now he's in Yellowstone. Kevin Costner was born on this date back in 55. Took me a long time to figure out what picture to use, and I went with that image.
I can't believe he's 68.
Yeah, Kevin Costner at 68. It's just hard to imagine, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. He still looks good.
He
doing good.
America has grown up with him without a doubt. Let's see what else happened today. Okay, 1956. I met this guy the first time at the Choctaw Indian Fair. You and I were there. Hal Ketchum was the opening act for him, and we met Mark Colley. He was born on this day. He roomed with Garth Brooks. They moved to Nashville. Neither one of them had a penny to their name. He wrote a song called "She Wants Something with a Ring to It." Garth would later record it. Of course, it'd make Mark a lot of money off of that. His biggest hit would probably be known as "Even the Man in the Moon Is Crying."
Oh yeah, beautiful song.
Yeah, a lot of people like that.
Kind of interesting that I saw him in a thing yesterday. Do you remember Joey and Rory?
Yes.
Is it Feek?
Yeah.
Or something like that? Anyway, and she passed away. She, they had a baby, and
Where'd you get that no good white trash?
Yeah, and she was so talented, and then she had cancer and died.
Cheater.
Anyway, he started some kind of new. It was almost like a Woodstock out on his farm.
Yeah.
And I noticed that Mark Colley is a part of it.
Colley is a great songwriter.
Yeah. So if you want to catch him, I think you can go out there. It's Rory Feek.
Yeah.
Rory.
If Texas is watching this morning, Hardin County Line, that was a great song. They'd race for titles, they'd race for cash. 1960, this was the number one song. Who remembers this?
I do.
Love a little white dove with a love.
Running bear. That's all I know of.
But boy, what a song. It'd start out with that.
Oh, yeah.
Probably today they would say it's not politically correct.
Is that the only song he did?
That's the only one I know by him.
Yeah.
Johnny Preston sang that, but it was number one. A lot of other people recorded it since then, but boy, I sure like that.
Yeah.
1962, guess who was born? You'd
Nellie.
love to bother her.
That was Nellie?
Nellie Olson.
Yeah.
And
I watched every Little House on the Prairie. I read every book. Oh, I loved it.
She was a mean little thing, wasn't
mean.
she?
She was mean.
She played the part well. I think in real life, she was really a good woman.
Yeah.
She's all grown up now and
Angelic.
looks nothing like that.
Angelic.
Let's see here. Oh, if you've ever heard the song Teddy Bear, you'll know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was big back in the late 60s and 70s to do truck driver songs.
Yeah.
Well, the king of that would be, here he is, Red Savine. He had the number one song today in 66 with Giddy Up Go. You remember that one?
Nope.
Yep. That's
I'm
what
gonna have to say. If I heard it, I might, but I
Truck
listened to
driver.
a lot of country music back when I was young because that was, it was huge.
Yeah.
In the 60s and early 70s. And then
the
I
moral
went,
to the story is the daddy was a truck driver. The mama leaves the daddy, and the little boy doesn't know anything other about his daddy, other than his name was Giddy Up Go. And he's driving down the interstate one day, and he sees a truck with Giddy Up Go written on it.
Oh, really?
Pulls in there, and well, that's his daddy.
Oh.
Yeah, they met at the truck stop.
So that's the only way he met his dad. He never came home. He went and got
Well,
the
they got
proverbial.
divorced, and I don't know
He
what
went and got
mama
that
told
pack
him.
of cigarettes and a.
Never come
Was
back.
it? Yeah.
I'm going to the store. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Never see him again.
Going to get some smoke, so I'll be right back.
1974. I'm sure you remember this because he was like it on a stick before the Fall Guy. Anybody remember Lee Majors as he came out as the $6 Million Man?
Do you remember who the $6 million woman was?
The Bionic Woman.
The Bionic Woman.
Lindsay somebody.
Lindsay Warren. Lindsay.
Lindsay something.
Yeah, it was Lindsay.
But
I want to say.
And then they had a dog that was bionic.
And we all watched this show.
Yeah.
Like, I could not now get into a show like that.
It's not near as good.
He was bionic, and he could take off. Boy, he could run.
He sure could. Now, let's go back to this. It was 1975. We got out of order there of the years. Whoops. But what do you think the number one song was? I'm sure you've sang this, because it was good.
Mandy.
Oh, Mandy. I don't remember the rest.
Oh, how did it go?
You made me or something.
You made me. You.
Yeah, I have to go to.
Ba-da-da-na-na-na.
Y'all see if y'all can do that. But
Oh, man.
75. That was Barry
Lindsay
Manilow.
Wagner. Thank you very much.
Lindsay Wagner. Yeah. 1975. That was your number one song. Maybe you remember that. Maybe you still hum it. Play it on your iPad.
Barry Manilow, we talked about him yesterday. But
Sure did.
But he was just, every song was his. He probably had 5 number ones straight in a row on the chart, like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Yeah.
He was that
another
popular.
thing that happened, Archie Bunker was really big. It was controversial, but Maude got her own show out of that. And then this next show spins off of that. And what was it?
The
Jeffersons.
Yeah.
It premiered today in 1975.
Loved the Jeffersons.
Moving on up.
I forgot that Maude spun off of Archie Bunker.
Sure did.
I forgot that, but I love the show Maude, and I loved the Jeffersons.
She was a treetop tall woman. Ooh, scary. But, who couldn't like George Jefferson? I mean, he started his own museum.
Yeah. They were funny.
They were.
She always kept him straight.
Ooh.
What was her name? Wheezy?
Wheezy. And then in 2016, we would lose one of the greats. Today, we lost one of the Eagles. If y'all remember, Glenn Fry passed away at the age of 67 on this date. It's just so hard to... The Eagles, it doesn't seem that they should be old enough to die, nor Alabama.
Don't they still tour
Yeah, I think so.
with leftover? I guess they have like some fill-ins.
They do.
On the Eagles. Yeah.
It's a lot of times shocking when you go to see a concert and you have in your head what everybody used to look like.
Yeah. Kind of like when I look in the mirror, I kind of have in my head what
Say,
I
who is
used to
that?
look like, and then go, wait a minute, who
is
are
that?
you? Where did you come from?
Scotty Ray and Debbie, good morning, Artie. 7:42. We'll be right back. Keep that smile going. Throw some more coffee on. Join us. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales, taking care of Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Lauderdale County Farm Supply, exit 151 off the interstate is where you'll find them. They've got a little bit of everything going on this January. Whether you're getting ready to do some work around the house, a little repair, they got all the tools and things that you need from that. From getting you a new swing, a new something to sit in, yeah, a good porch swing, a chair. They've got all of that for you there. As you scroll through, plenty of jackets left as we do still have winter weather. Trust me, it's not over yet. They can take care of you with hats and sunglasses. And, of course, anything to do with deer season. We've got you loaded up with all your attractants, corn, and a whole lot more. Maybe a new set of boots to keep those feet warm and out of the wet mud. Get you a new pair there. They'll show you around. Whether it's horse, cattle feed, doesn't matter. They got it all for you. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Exit 151 off the interstate. Drop in and visit. You'll bump into a friend, I'm sure.
Hey, look, Wally Starnes said they went to Rory's farm. That's a hard name to say. Rory. Went to Rory's farm to his concerts. Amazing place and person. Also met their little daughter, Indy. Little Indy.
Oh, that's
That was the
sweet.
daughter she had when she passed away. You know, she had just had her. And yeah, I agree. Joey and Rory's music was great. She just had a fabulous voice.
Have you ever heard the song? And he was going to make a movie out of it. And I don't know if it ever happened to it. A song called Josephine.
Yes. I think he actually, that you can go to his Facebook, And I think he did. It almost seems like he has a channel, like a.
He does have a dedicated.
And I started listening to the story of Josephine, and so there may be, and Wally might know about that. But
Josephine was a lady. The farmhouse that they have all their stuff on was the family that lived there, and she's writing her husband, or her husband is writing her from the Civil War, and it's heart touching. And he tells her, if you marry somebody else, I want you to make sure he loves our kids because he's afraid he's going to die in battle. And he took that letter and wrote a song out of it and was going to make a movie. I don't know whether he ever did or not.
Well, I really think he did. Or some kind of series.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a series. Yeah. So, if you ever get a chance, I don't even know where the farm is, but go to their Facebook because it's very interesting.
We're starting to see nationwide more and more lawsuits that come out of people getting fired during the COVID days, as we all remember that. We had a lady that was fired because of the mask issue. The problem was she was deaf and she had to read lips to work. They fired her over it. Well, she just won in court.
Yeah.
Hello.
I mean, did the mask really do anything?
I don't think so. Because there in the beginning.
Well, yeah, imagine if you are deaf. Now, did I kind of like wearing a mask when I went out and it just kind of covered up all your. Yeah. Well, I don't wear makeup. I only wear it when I come here because I literally can go months without putting makeup on because, like I said, I work from home. Nobody sees me. But then you could just put that over and you didn't have to really worry about what you look like.
Yeah, that's right. It had advantages. Mm-hmm. But I really, in the beginning, if y'all remember, they were saying, don't worry about masks. It's not going to do anything. And that was really the truth. But somehow or another, it got turned back around and it was a mask shortage for the longest there, if y'all go back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember paying a lot of money for a few masks there because when it first started and sending them to, because we were so worried about my mom, in the very beginning. But, my mom was in ICU and my sister and I were in there with her.
Yeah.
That early January when it first started leaking. And I got on Twitter and started reading all this stuff coming out of China. And Katie and I were supposed to be going to Thailand. We were supposed to be booking a trip for May. And I told her, I said, I don't know. I've noticed a bunch of weird stuff going on. And she was like, Mom. And then a month later, it was just full blown.
Can you imagine if you'd been trapped there?
No. And then, I wouldn't even fly to California to my friend's retirement. And she was like, you're ridiculous. But then I think one of her relatives got trapped.
And they were there.
That
would be tough to be locked into a town that you're not from. You think of the expenses you incur because it's not your home.
And it was really all over the place in the beginning, And I was just scared of it because I didn't know. I'm not now because
Well, Wanda said that thing sure did keep your face warm.
It did.
Everybody's heard
in the winter, but then in the summer.
Another thing that keeps you warm, this name, Carhartt. Who has not worn that at some point in your life? All my jackets, I love them. The heiress to that, she was the lady that inherited that. Her family began it.
The heiress.
Is that how you say that? Did I say her? Oh, I ain't going to try to repeat that now. But she was
heiress.
Yeah, that word. Yeah. She was 97 years old. She's passed away now. And come to find out, her lawyer was scamming her, beat her out of $21 million. They're suing. The rest of the family is going after him now. He was taking out loans, borrowing money, using her money as if it was his.
That's awful.
It is.
It happens a lot.
97 years old. You trust your money to somebody, and then they do you that way.
$21 million.
Yeah. They'll get him. That's for sure, because there's somebody
left. It happens a lot, especially with these celebrities and stuff that don't have any kind of financial.
Yeah.
And then they have to trust managers and things like that, and they're just taking them. I'm so glad they got this husband. This next story. Oh, I really followed this case.
Now, where was this at? What state was it in?
It was in Massachusetts, and the husband and wife, New Year's Eve, she was supposedly traveling to D.C. because that's where her job was, and she never made it. And then, anyway, I think his name is Brian Walsh and Anna Walsh, and so after a week or two, they found blood in the basement.
Oh,
they arrested him. Then they started searching a dump area by his mom's because they were tracking him. and they found, I think, a hacksaw. Because I think
it got really bad.
And he Googled how to dispose of a 115-pound.
Yeah, that wouldn't make you guilty, would it?
No.
No, cops wouldn't think anything.
She was only 39, 3 children. Three or 4 children.
What makes somebody do that? They've got him. He's been arrested now. That's
And it comes to find out that he was a sociopath from way back. And like he was an only child of a very wealthy doctor, and he scammed his dad, and his dad had disowned him. And then when his father passed away, I think he got caught taking a bunch of his stuff. I'm very invested in this story.
I can tell.
And he got caught taking a bunch of his stuff. So he was wearing, what do you call those where you in-house arrest? The
ankle bracelet.
Ankle bracelet. And so he was being tracked.
The whole time. So there's a path of where he was.
Yeah.
Anyway. That'll get you connected.
Not that I've been studying up on that story, but things
now
like
we
that
know.
interest me. Yeah.
7:51 with Scotty Ray and Debbie. Good morning to you. We'll be right back.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been in business for over 10 years, and they have over 30 vendors inside, with a rotating inventory to fit that something special that you're looking for. The inventory constantly is updating, and there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located at 335 West Main Street, where you'll bump into a friend, and, well, we'll treat you like family. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel.
Maple's one-stop shop is there for you whether you need gas, candy bar, well, maybe you're looking for some breakfast this morning. They've got plenty of that. You can find it out at Collinsville or there at the Chevron, St. Paul Street. They've got it all there for you, from bacon, grits, eggs, a biscuit. Makes it look good. One of the cleanest places you'll ever walk into. Lunchtime is coming. They always have a great menu with that. Get 2 vegetables, a meat, and sweet tea for about $8.99. What a bargain that is. As you go through this, always something good to eat there. And the loyalty coffee program, it just goes on and on. Again, one of the cleanest places you'll find to get yourself a cold drink, a piece of pizza, a lotto ticket, however you want to word that, with ice cream and a whole lot more. Whatever you got going on, they've got it for you. Drop in and visit with them in Maples. They got 6 locations from Bonita, Pine Springs, Collinsville, out to the 31st Avenue, Broadmoor, and Last Chance Tobacco there on Highway 39. They'll take care of you with all of that. With a
That
smile.
food made me hungry, Scotty Ray.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So somebody said that he was committed at one time for being a sociopath, talking about the Brian Walsh guy that killed his wife that was just arrested. And also, let's see, somebody just made she had 3 children.
Okay.
3 children, and that's that.
Well, we got somebody that's in jail today. Chrisley's. Both of them have reported to jail, and he held a pillow over the windshield where nobody could look at it. Did you see that? Going down the road, placed it up there. Shame, shame. We all know that somebody's going to sneak a picture out of prison. My question is, all of these houses, because they had 2 big homes, do they default now? They paid for? Do they go back to the bank? What becomes of it?
You know, I haven't really, I don't know. I need to look into that and see what's going to happen with those homes.
Even the kids' show have been canceled at this point.
We should.
Yeah. They're gone.
But they arrived in the back of a black Cadillac Escalade.
They may be picked up in a cab.
In your
on how things
avalanche.
go.
They may be picked up in your avalanche.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Bless
It's not
their
that
hearts.
avalanche.
No.
It's just this
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's not ugly.
Let's just. I had to get some money to start this, so I had to sell my truck. And then that's all I could afford to
That
get
sounds
was
like a good story
And
right there.
there's Keith Freeman sitting over there with the ugliest truck in Lauderdale County. And I said, Keith, what would you take
what
for
would you
it?
take for that ugly truck? And no, it's not ugly.
Yeah, it's ugly. It's a Tupperware truck, y'all.
I mean, it kind of
Even
is.
Keith's kid said, Daddy's an ugly truck, sell it to him quick. Nobody else is going to buy it. Quick, get rid of it.
Do you remember when your kids were young and they were very, I don't know about yours, but mine were, like if you rode up in something they didn't like,
At school?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Could you just pick me up down the road, please? Please.
Don't show yourself.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We're coming up. We're real close to the end of the show today. Have you ever heard of people that do this for competition slapping one another?
I just can't even get into this story, Scotty Ray. I read it. I read the story and I don't understand it, but look at his face. Can you show that?
Yeah, let me go down and find
Get
it.
the good picture. You just passed it. Go up, 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 right there.
Right there.
Look at this. Why would somebody do that?
Yeah.
I understand arm wrestling,
But
Wrestling.
slapped to your.
but slap until you slap silly.
Yeah, that's what
I don't
happened.
get it.
So watch the sports that y'all all enter. We don't want you hurting anything that you do.
No. Hey, did we ever say happy birthday
Let's
to
do
Ricky?
that.
Ricky Stevens. Happy birthday to you.
Philadelphia is where he's having his birthday.
He's been he's your longtime friend, right?
Forever in a day. So hope it's a good one, Ricky. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget about this. Bad weather tonight, beginning at about 9 o'clock through 4 a.m. We'll be behind the scenes watching all this. Should it trigger an alert, we'll be here to tell you about it as always. No matter how big or small, we're still here to watch the weather for you.
Right. And right now it's at a level 1.
Yep.
But, you'll keep them updated all throughout the day.
Most certainly. So
Let you know.
make sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, either way you want to do it. And if it's real serious, we'll come back and join you in other areas too. Scotty Ray and Debbie, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us this morning. We're coming back tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock.
Whoops. 7.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: